What's up, guys? Welcome to day one of my 5-day mobility and wellness challenge. My name is Daniel Aceves from Days of Crypto Coaching. We're going to go through the self mobility assessment today to understand where you are with your mobility, with understanding if there's any pain in your body. And it's going to really set the foundation for these next 5 days so that you have a better understanding of where to go, what things to improve on, and what areas of your health are really lacking. Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen to show you guys what we're gonna be looking at. So here we're gonna take a look at 4 different exercises. The first one here, it's going to be ankle mobility wall test. And what we're gonna do is we're going to kind of just assess our ankle mobility. So this is important if you notice that you walk around a lot in your day, you go up the stairs a lot. And maybe there could be times that you feel like you lose your balance, like you have a hard time going for long periods of time, walking or sitting down, standing up. Your ankle mobility, it's going to really dictate how well your body moves when you're moving your lower body and just in general when you do your daily activities. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this test, and we're going to kind of first sit up against the wall. So notice here in the video how I'm keeping my foot about a fist length away from the wall. So you can kind of measure how far away your foot is. We want to keep it a fist distance away. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and start the movement by pushing your knee over your toe, going as far as you can without letting your heel come off the ground. So this test is to see how much your knee could push over your toe without the heel coming off. You're gonna really feel this a lot in your shins, maybe a little bit in the back of your heel. So make sure that as you push your knee over your toe, you also keep your hip in line with your knee. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do 5 reps on the right leg first and then 5 reps on the left. And it's gonna be really important to see here if there's a difference from left to right. And that's gonna tell us, if there's one side that we need to focus on more. And also maybe it could tell us maybe past injuries you've had, like an ankle sprain, or maybe there was a time where you injured your foot for some reason and you had to ice it and like not like move it around, and that could also affect the way you move throughout your day. And even if it happened years ago, it could still affect your movement today. So it's going to be really important to go through this ankle mobility test for the first one. After this one, we're going to do the hip mobility test. So this one's going to be a 90-90. So this one's going to be a little bit more challenging. So I've noticed that when I talk to clients, usually there's always some sort of cramping that happens, a lot of tightness and discomfort around the hip area, which honestly, guys, is normal. You're going to feel that at first. I do it every single day, and I still feel that stiffness and tightness. It's not bad. It's just something that you're gonna have to work through as your mobility in your hips improves. Okay. So hip mobility is really good. If you want to be able to play any sports, you want to be able to be active, going on hikes, doing activities that you love doing, squatting down to grab your kids, doing stuff like that. So you're gonna start the 90-90, keeping both of your legs at a 90-degree angle, as you can see on the screen. The goal is to try to make sure that you keep your knees as close to the floor as possible. So a cue would be to push your knees towards the ground as you get into position. And then you can keep your arm to the side to stay as upright as possible. You're going to really feel this on the side of the hip, the glute, and also on the glute on the other side. Okay. So You're gonna get into that position, and then once you're there, once you have yourself as best as possible in that position, you're gonna do a rep, allowing your chest to fall over your knee, keeping good posture. If you can, lifting up that back foot off the ground, but if you can't do that yet, that's fine. And you're gonna do reps, going all the way forward, still maintaining good posture, chest over your knee. And again, you're gonna do 5 reps on this side, and then switch over and do 5 reps on the other side. Okay, so that's gonna be a test we're gonna do for the hips. Third one, we're gonna do a thoracic mobility test, kind of working on the areas in the mid to upper back. Really good for correcting posture. So if you sit down a lot, this is going to be really good for you. In general, this one, you could also feel some tension relief in the lower back if done properly. Also, some relief can come in the neck. If you have a lot of neck tension or discomfort, this one's going to be really good. So with this one, you start off laying down on the ground, face first, arms up to the side, thumbs up, and you're just lifting up your upper body off the ground. So you're going to keep your legs on the ground, lifting your chest, your arms off the floor, pointing your thumbs up, and then trying your best to hold at the top position for 5 seconds. So at that top position, you can kind of think about like you're going to pull your shoulder blades back and really try to force those thumbs all the way up with a nice open chest. Okay. So that one as well, you're going to try doing for 5 reps. And again, if you can at the top, hold for about 5 seconds every single rep. So that's going to be thoracic mobility test from Cobra. The final one is going to be a wall press. So with this one has by far personally been the most beneficial. Improve posture, to decrease also chronic neck discomfort. I had a client who would get a lot of headaches, throughout their day, because they were like very stressed. They would do, for the most part, office work for what they do for a living. So they would be sitting down a lot. They would be always like slouched over, and they just had a lot of stiffness and tightness in their neck. So this wall press exercise, oh my God, this one was something that helped them tremendously. If you are consistent with this every single day, you're gonna definitely notice a big improvement in posture, and also less tension in your neck, less likely to get headaches, and more likely to have a better quality of life. So this one, you're gonna set up against the wall. Start with your feet slightly off the wall, like how you see in the video. And then to get in position, you first want to make sure that you keep contact points, first the glutes, then here pushing your belly button back towards the wall so that your lower back is contacting the wall. And then making sure the shoulders are both on the wall. So everything here flat against the wall, tucking your chin so that the back of your head is also against the wall. Once you're there, you're going to make sure to lift up both arms at 90 degrees. So here, still making sure all of this is flat if possible. And now you're pressing your elbow and your wrist back towards the wall while maintaining all those contact points. So I have clients that would get into that position and their arm would be like this. Like they wouldn't be able to push their hand back. It would be kind of like at an angle. So to start with, we can, and then over time, it should get better. So here you're going to feel this along your shoulders, your neck, the back of your head, the upper back, the lower back, a little bit of everything. So just make sure you take your time with this movement. And again, every time you press back, you hold 5 seconds and then repeat for 5 reps. Okay. So those are the 4 exercises. I'm going to drop all of these demonstrations in the Facebook group so that you guys are able to try them out on yourself. And what I'll do is I'll kind of provide just this whole template. So if you can, if possible, go ahead and download the Dropbox app so that it's more accessible. But if you don't have the app, that's fine. You can always just look at it through the browser. And yeah, you're going to be updating me on your progress to see how it went for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave it for me in the group. But what you guys have to do for homework for this first day is to comment on every single movement. So the ankle mobility test, the hip mobility test, the thoracic mobility test, and the posture wall press mobility test. Kind of just give a little bit of detail of how it felt for you. And, just if it's something that you can see yourself doing more often, if it really benefits you, how you can implement it in your routine. And then again, if you have any questions, just drop it in the group and I'll be happy to answer them. So I'll see you guys in day 2. Have a good day. Bye.